Hi there, Cancer. Thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for June. And it can be a stop-start beginning to the new month. The good stuff. Venus, the planet of love and affection, is in the most idealistic part of your scope, forging a really trippy angle to Neptune. If you're talking about going on holiday with a partner, well, an idyllic location could really be one that captures both of your imaginations. On the other hand, there may be somebody new that you're getting to know through a circle of friends, but they may be very different to you, and you may never really get to the bottom of their motivation, at least not this month. In a more practical sense, the Sun is forging a link with Mars in the first 4 days of this month, and something that you've been trying to clear up from the past can be finally resolved, but you do need to be proactive. Now, in the first 10 days of this month, Mars is going to be clashing with Pluto, suggesting that there is the potential for a bit of a power battle with someone that you're close to, perhaps in the family, perhaps a partner, perhaps it's somebody that lives immediately around you. How you see something may be in stark contrast to them, and it may be difficult for both of you to really hold back from being full on in asserting your viewpoint. What does help this situation, however, is that Uranus, which has been clashing with Pluto since the start of the year, and pretty well broadly for the last couple of years, does give us all a little bit of a rest through to October. They're pulling apart, and that's welcome. If there has been sudden surprises, particularly in the professional environment around relationships, that will be less of an issue. But I do feel that you may have a situation where someone could try to force their will on you, or you may realise that people see you as being much more controlling than you do, and that may be something that you need to think about. Now, on the 7th, Mercury, located in your sign as this month begins, and giving you the desire to get your plans moving, does go into a retrograde. Now, if you know your astrology, and of course many people do, then you'll know that Mercury retrograde can be mischief-making, but it's very important to make clear that whilst this can affect things around transport, distribution, and the way we express ourselves, some of these things are under our control still, some aren't. So the things that you can control, in other words, thinking through your schemes, well, perhaps it's not going to be such a bad thing that one idea that you're really hoping to drive forwards does go through something of a little bit of a hiatus. And it might not be until the middle of July before you really get clear about why this is. Initially, there could be huge frustrations, particularly when Mercury ebbs backwards into Gemini, which occurs at the middle of the month and through to the end of June. And then you may just feel that you're really treading water. Your frustration can be enormous, especially when Venus goes face to face with Saturn from the 10th to the 15th, and it may feel that the fates are against you. Don't think like this. One other relationship can be hugely important, and Pluto is going to help you to understand with whom in week 2. What's clear, however, is that with Neptune also starting to tread backwards from the 9th, facts and reality are going to be very important in anything to do with the more practical elements of life. So, whilst you may find yourself inspired at the start of this month and at the end of this month, when it comes to anything to do with the arts or your personal expression, when it does come to worldly everyday stuff that does need a critical eye, concentration and getting stuff done, you may feel yourself lacking in motivation at key times this month, particularly after that first burst of energy at the start of the month. But it will start to improve from the 21st when the Sun enters your sign. It won't be a complete panacea, because I don't think it's going to be until Mercury has straightened itself out and come back into Cancer that you're going to really catch up with where you wanted to be. But by then, things will have changed so much, you won't be unhappy at all by how it does alter. There is a full moon, which occurs on the 13th of this month, and that suggests to you, if you have been putting anything off to do with your health, fitness or well-being, don't do so a day longer. Go and see your physician and take steps. It's not that anything dramatic is going to happen, but it's just going to help you to feel much more in control. Also, watch out for hidden opposition at work in the 2 weeks following. Now, when Venus does move, It's going to be moving into Gemini, and that's on the 23rd. And if there are any cracks in your relationships, your close personal relationships, you could find yourself thinking a lot about these. But don't jump to any conclusions, particularly in the last week. Someone may tell you something, and it may be an absolute barefaced lie. So keep your wits about you. Fortunately, the Sun embraces Neptune very positively in the last days of this month, and the new moon in your sign on the 28th is going to give you an awful lot of hope and inspiration, and a sense that things can start to go forwards positively for you. And that's also going to give you an opportunity to give yourself some kind of dramatic makeover, perhaps in the way you personally dress. It can often be very stylish, but this gives you your opportunity to create a bit more shock and awe in the way you come across. I hope you have a great June. Thank you for joining me. Good luck, and goodbye for now.